I've
We
also
got a little video of us playing.
yeah, I've also recorded
He's
most of our
got
Age of Ashes.
blackmail.
Yeah,
Yes.
I also have most of our Age of Ashes videos, but not all of them. Unfortunately, my computer glitched out during Charlie's funeral, which kills me. So I don't have any of it, but I have most of it.
Yeah, I'm excited for those to go up more. Who knows? Maybe we'll take off and I'll suddenly become a celebrity game master.
I'm for it.
I'll make tens of cents a year.
You're gonna be a rich, rich man.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, I was just telling the guys that if you're interested at all in finding a new D&D stream, the Dungeon Run just did a very short recap, so now is a great time to jump on. So if you're looking for a new one, that's a good one.
Uh-oh. Are multiple people dropping out now?
I think that's the same person.
Okay.
Alright. Get the big top up.
I've been catching up on side quest side sesh, and part of it is like really sad because my character for Rise of the Rune Lords, she lived in the Churlwood, and as she was looking for her son, she passed through Ravenmoor, and so I know a ton of the Ravenmoor lore, and like part of her whole backstory was she was like trying to follow her son who had run away, and she stopped in Ravenmoor, and because they weren't worshipping Desna properly, and she's an Oracle of Desna, she felt compelled to like stay there and help out the town and like teach them about Desna, and then she sort of like lost the trail before continuing on down and eventually getting to whatever the town in Rise of the Rune Lords is.
Sandpoint.
Sandpoint, thank you. Yeah, so she sort of like had to help these people in Ravenmoor before she could continue on to Sandpoint. And so just hearing people play in Ravenmoor, it's just like, oh, I miss my tank.
You're an oracle? I thought you were a cleric.
No, in my other game,
Oh,
where I play a Tengu,
gotcha.
where my little icon is from.
Oh, I can totally turn the grid off.
Oh my god. What kind of
That's madness,
anarchy?
though. Yeah, that's pure anarchy.
Oh, I can change the grid that way. That seems not helpful. Well, I messed that up right and proper. Got too distracted by it. It's like, it'll be fine if I play with the grid. Nothing's gonna be weird.
Ain't nothing terrible gonna happen today.
I made it weird. Okay. Snap to grid.
I'm here just eating some lunch that I haven't had yet, so just a heads up.
All good. I was just horribly mangling my map. We're good now. Alright, we put some circus music on. with Abaddis. Alright. Solid third act, but after that, the scouts in the crowd saw three drunks about to get violent. The party dispatches a threat, but not without bothering the crowd, because if you remember, you did keep them from dying, which saved it a little bit, but you did just basically straight up murder, like, 3 people in front of the crowd. Who, once again, I guess, to be fair, we're in the process of trying to stab everyone to death, so...
That's true.
Take it as you will. However, now it's time for the big finish. So we've got a few acts all going on simultaneously, which I believe are, it's either in my, I think I have my notes.
I believe Vivica's in there, right? And then the
sure.
fire jugglers and...
The Flamboni sisters and the Dwarven Throwers.
Yeah, the Dwarven
for our
Throwers and the
final
Flamboni
big act.
That was it.
Pulling up my notes as well.
Actually, I think we specifically ended last time with Vivica coming out to John Woo-esque butterflies through the curtain as you walked up to the silks to begin your routine. And I like to imagine that, like, if we are coming back to that same shot at the beginning of this episode, you know, we see the exact same content happening. We see Vivica walking out, but now it's a wider frame. And so we can see that to the left and right of Vivica, we have not only her coming out and preparing this, but we also have, on one side, these 2 sisters being juggle fire, and like 4 dwarves just throwing other dwarves to insane heights and distances. And so I think we're going to come back to that. So what I'll say is this: for the sake of rolling tonight, Lauren, do you want to? Here we go. Do you want to start with? Do you want to start with your rolls, or do you want to let the throwers and the sisters do their rolls and then finish with you?
What are the pros and cons of me starting versus them starting?
Mechanically, none at all. Just do you want to roll before them, or do you want to roll later, narratively?
I'll roll later narratively.
All right. So in that case, we're gonna go to this big. Go to this big show. Alright, as it comes out, we'll start off with the Flamboni sisters. Who wants to roll for the sisters for me?
I'll roll for the sisters.
By the way?
Yeah, we're still the same.
Yeah, double click the right token on your character sheet. You know how it has 2 pictures of your portrait? Double click the one on the right. Should pop up the map.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It'll take you right to wherever your token is, which is really handy.
Yeah, it's a very handy little shortcut.
Eli and I found this out about 7 months about 7 months into using this software. We finally figured it out.
And it's a super duper helpful thing, because otherwise James had to share the map every single time.
And then one of our other players was just like clicking literally everything to see what it did. It was like, oh, hey, look what I found.
Yeah.
So, here we are. The Flamboni sisters are up. Who would like to... Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we hear you, man. I will roll for the Flamboni sisters.
Alright, Eli, so you know the drill. You're going to have 3 actions. And the Flamboni sisters, they've got 2 options here. They can use a deception of +7 or a fortitude of +7. So mechanically, no difference.
Okay. So...
And the deception is their... So if you want, for the sake of narrative, the deception is their juggling, their fancy tricks. Their fortitude is fire breathing and fire swallowing.
Alright, let's impress with the fire swallowing first. I know mechanically it doesn't really make a difference, but let's do that first. Enter with the fire swallowing. Like they...
So we got a +7.
Shazow. Oh, that was good.
Out
Yeah.
of the gate. Now, here's
Out of the
thing.
gate.
You just critically succeeded.
That's good and bad.
Yes, it is. Because much like in real life, it gets people's hopes up.
Yep. Okay.
So, me note this down. right, now second action. You're looking at a minus. We don't have agile as one of the traits on here, so you're looking at a +2, either deception or fortitude save. Your choice.
It's still the -5 even if I take the fortitude?
Correct.
Alright, well, it wouldn't be...
It's all about storytelling in this one.
Right,
Mechanically,
right.
the challenges are pretty straightforward.
So it wouldn't really be a fire swallowing act without fire swallowing, so we're going to go with the fortitude save.
Again?
Wait, wasn't the first one?
Doesn't matter. That's a success.
Doesn't matter.
So,
Essentially what I'm saying is do one and then the other, is what I'm saying.
So, okay, so you've juggled, you're eating fire. Now it is it's your final action. You're going to be at a -3.
No, I think they're going to try to keep working the crowd and raise the suspense for the next, while the dwarven throwers, like, come out.
Cool. So,
Like, that second roll, let's say that was the fire swallowing, and they just blew a large thing of flame out from their mouth, and once the fire and the smoke cleared, the dwarves are standing there.
so we're gonna leave that. We're gonna let that one just come out as it is. You're gonna rest on your laurels of 2 successes and not risk losing points.
Yeah, those were really excellent rolls. I'm not going to risk it.
All right. I would like to roll for the dwarven throwers. Which also, those of you, if you can see my webcam, I love the poster for the dwarven throwers. This dwarf is just hurled wide-eyed into the air.
Don't tell the elf!
Well, I think it's racist
That's so
if anyone else does it.
I'll do it. That's fine.
All right, so the dwarven throwers are pretty set up. They can use an athletics. Their athletics bonus is +10.
All right. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, opening act. Dwarven throwers get ready. And turn themselves into a fleshy ballista to launch their own numbers into the air.
Oh,
So
come
whenever
on.
you're ready, go ahead and give me a d20 +10. Critical success.
Nice.
Yeah, boy! Good and bad, though.
Alright, so now if you want to go back, you've got a +5 on your second roll.
May as well. Let's do it.
Yeah, 'cause if you flub the second, you can always send the clowns in, because you guys have not had to use the clowns at all. Doesn't matter. Still a
good.
success.
Yeah.
Alright. So at this point, your final check would be just a flat roll. So a critical fail loses points. A failure is just a failure, but a success is another point. So it's up to you if you want to push for a flat check.
Success is like 15, I think, so that's a pretty low chance. It's like 25% success chance on
Woo! Matt's here!
that. Hey!
Gets back to what? It's amazing what happens when you walk away from the computer for a few minutes.
Like haggling. Look, I can walk away from this. I do not need it.
I don't know. Should I do it? I got the clown still. I feel okay about
But you
it.
don't have a fourth action to send the clowns in.
Oh. Excellent. Okay, good.
I think we've racked up a lot of points, and I still have to go, so
Okay, let's hold
I don't know
on.
if I would, just in case I flub
Yeah,
something.
I think we need to bring her
I
out.
can give you the current running total if you want to know where it's at. That's,
Yeah,
that's
let's
open
hear what
knowledge.
we're at.
So see, right now. 1, 2, 3. You guys are at anticipation 20. You started at anticipation 15.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Excitement. You're currently at. You're in a rough place.
Oh no.
You are at excitement. You are at excitement 13, if I did that right. Let me double check my numbers.
Nikes.
No, I'm being at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, you're at 14. So you're one away from your original excitement. but you've raised the anticipation and the hype for the show so high that you need 6 excitement.
Oh my god.
Well, that bird kid messed it up for us.
He did not open strong. It also did not help that the crowd saw you guys like murder some people in front of them.
That's true.
Yeah, Edom looks around and he's like, I think this is going really well. I like that we killed that guy.
Well, like, they didn't get killed because Vivica did stand up and just, like, broadly chant, which helped the audience learn, like, okay, we all felt our own things get killed a little bit, but, like, we also still saw it happen, so...
Wasn't great.
And we gave them almonds, like, what else do they want?
Come on. These people are
I'm gonna
so
say, I punched him first. I punched first, so...
Yeah, me too.
And then somebody came in with a bear.
That's true.
Yeah, that was
Alright,
awesome.
so all this to say, Jared, you going for roll number 3?
What does it
I-
take to get, like, you said we need 6 excitement?
6 more excitement, yeah.
What is that? Is that
It's
one
the-
success,
it's
like a success of 1?
Yes.
Oof.
So, you know, no pressure on you, Vivica.
Mm-hmm.
Or if, or if anyone else cooks up a harebrained scheme here, but yeah.
What do you think? We got anything to lose if I do it?
I mean, a little, but not... It won't be super bad. I mean, it's just a straight roll, but you need a 15 to go up any.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, if nothing else, it's a short session tonight, and you all have hero points.
That's true.
Ooh.
That's
Do
true.
it.
Alright, let's do it. Here it comes. Oh, yep,
Oh.
we're getting into the 0 point now.
Ooh.
Hope I don't die later. Okay, let's try that again. That's better.
Right. So it's just a failure. But you know what I will say, because this is all happening simultaneously, I'll give you a little slack. Eli, if you want the Flamboni sisters to use, because you didn't use a third action, if you want you to use their third action to clowns, we can
Yes.
do that.
Okay, yeah, if that's allowed, then yeah, I'll absolutely use the Flamboni Sisters' third action to clowns that and raise it to a normal success.
Word.
Alright.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now you're at 15.
If that's a thing I can do, I will do that.
I'll call it. It's happening simultaneously.
Cool.
So what I'll say is, even if Vivica runs a perfect performance, that's a max of 3 excitement.
Mm-hmm.
I think I am going to implement a house rule, though, that I'll share with you guys, because I did spend some time on the forums, and the one thing I found consistent is that a lot of people house ruled some of the... used the baseline for the circus performance mechanics, but then tweaked it a little because it just needed a little love. So what I'll say in this case, it also is easier in the future, because, like, honestly, the next performance, if you guys choose to do another performance, you will most likely have an anticipation for that performance of, like, 11 or 12. It'll be a lot more reachable.
Sure.
You also have some money to put into things that just, like, let you start with a higher, like, let you start with a baseline excitement and things like that.
Well, that'd be good.
Yeah, but what I'll say
Yeah.
is, I'm going to house rule of this, because I think this is appropriate. I think it's hilarious that you guys started with an anticipation of 15, and then you did such a good job that you're actually going to fail. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say the performances baseline is 15, and so you guys will count a success at 15, but, like, any points over 15 will not be worth extra revenue unless it hits the increased excitement, the anticipation level. So you guys, at this point, will successfully achieve the vision people had coming into the circus, and it will count as a win. However, anything above 15 will not be extra points until you hit the anticipation you yourself raised by doing so well. I think that's all I'm going to hold the house, because I don't think you guys should be penalized for really good rolls.
Right. We did really well at the start.
But I think without the ability to back that up all the way, it just
Yeah,
makes
that's such a
people
weird
succeed.
mechanic.
It is.
Like, it's so luck-based. Like, what are we supposed to
Yeah.
do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's everything I was reading is that it feels less like that in the future. It's just that this first one, and mechanically, the author for the adventure stepped in and said, like, yeah, think about it, like, the best, like, you know, your best and brightest, Thunder set this all up and should have been running it to manage it perfectly, and now he's dead, so you're trying to do as best as you can on short notice. So
That's
it's
true.
going to be a weird transition.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'll say is, like, if you guys choose to do this in the future, you have a lot more ability to control these acts ahead of time, to put different bonuses in place, to sort of say, like, let's build anticipation, but, like, we don't know we can do as well as last time. Let's not build the anticipation quite as high. You have some ability to control some of that going into it and play the full game a little more. But yeah, you're right. It's very luck based, so that's why I'm house ruling. As long as you beat the original anticipation, it's a victory.
Okay.
However, you won't get points for your above and beyond unless you meet the total modified anticipation.
Sure.
All right, let's announce that time. Vivica.
So, she's climbing up the ropes, looping them around her arms and legs, and sort of like yo-yoing almost, where she falls down the silks and they hold her up and she's twisting and turning. I'm so scared. Oh no.
Okay, we have one more. You have one more.
Oh, that should be a +6, so that's a 12.
So that's still a failure.
But we also have clowns, and you also have your hero point. You could use.
This is your best bonus.
This is my best bonus. So yeah, I'll do the hero point.
That's why we have them, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Literally can't.
I did the modifier +6. How do I get that to apply to the roll?
You put in
So
the.
the best way, because this is one of your skills, right?
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
acrobatics.
I remember. I can just grab.
You just
Yeah.
grab it straight from your sheet.
Oh my god!
Hey, that's a success though. So you got
Wait,
you got
why
butterflies.
Why is it +12?
Oh, because you put
Oh,
+6.
I'm a dumbass. That's why. So yeah,
Okay.
no, it's a 10.
No, it's okay. I'm a big fan of like getting the system to work. Let's do one appropriately. Just grab
Alright.
+6, no modifier, drop it in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I'm gonna have a little fun here. All right. All right. You got 2 actions left.
All right.
I love our off-topic chat at Discord. Like, it's one of my favorite things to watch.
It's very fun.
Alright.
Okay,
Second
so
act.
we still have the clowns.
Yep.
I'll do it.
And it's a -4 because this is an agile trick for you.
Okay. So now I put in a -4.
Yep. And then.
And
drag
then
it
I
out.
draw. Okay. Come on. Give me another 20. Oh, yes!
Holy
Ooh,
shit!
yeah.
Alright. That was good. That was good. So she, it's getting higher and higher stakes. It's like really scary. She looks like she has looped herself and like it looks like if she fell, she would like choke and die, or like she would behead herself. But she gets to like the top of the silks, covered in them, and you see them going all which way, and you don't really know what's going to happen. And then she drops and she lets go, and the silks tighten, but they hold her up in this like beautiful pose where she has like a leg out and an arm out, and she's like gets caught and then is like slowly twirling down the rest of the silks.
Nice. So you can
She
choose to
was like
roll a
cheering
check.
and just like staring at you.
You can also choose to just narratively describe it. You won't get any more points, but you don't run the risk of losing. So it's up to you.
Wait, say that again?
So at this point, you've got 1 action left. It'll be at a -8. So it's up to you if you want to make the check, or if you just kind of want to like say, I don't think I can score on it. I don't want to risk losing points on a critical failure.
Yeah, it'll be a -2 at that point.
From where he's standing, can Garbanzo do a subtle dancing lights on her as she's slowly floating down to the ground?
Sure.
I'm trying to make it so the audience doesn't see me do it. That's why I'm using it as subtle.
Nice.
So yeah, as you're twirling down, a bunch of lights, big little dancing balls of light begin to flow and dance around you like butterflies.
And the best part is like that glistens off of her polished scales, and so it's just like this beautiful effect. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna roll again. And so she, as the silks unwind around her, she gracefully lands on the ground and bows, like pulling the silks out of the way, bows to the crowd, turns, bows to the crowd, and starts trying to like gather up everybody to do, you know, that sort of like we all come out,
Stage
bow, applause.
Stage bow.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, you guys finish for the night,
Ace,
and
to do
you
the
guys-
when everyone comes out for the stage bow, a small puff of smoke appears next to her, and Garbanzo stands there.
I think she tries to hide it, but does it perfectly. Of like a little jump to the side. She's like, oh god.
All right, you guys take the bow. The crowd goes wild. Let's see if I can find a good cheering. The crowd goes wild. Thought I had some good cheering sounds, but apparently not. Oh, here we go. Crowd just goes wild. And it's great. You managed to succeed on your initial anticipation. You didn't handle the increased anticipation, but you did great. You took what you could. And if someone wants to track this, for the coffers of the circus earned tonight 16 gold pieces.
Oh damn, that's real good.
Yeah, and so we'll get into this kind of after we finish Act 1, but there's lots of things that the circus can spend that money on. I mean, hypothetically, your characters could choose to just take it and spend it on themselves, because you're sort of running some things right now.
I have it
However,
noted on my character sheet, just so everyone knows. 16 gold.
But there's also things that you can spend money on. For example, like for 30 gold, you can increase the acoustics in your circus, or for 20, you can buy new safety nets. For 5 gold, you can add beer to your next performance.
Oh,
Didn't
nice.
one of the safety nets? The safety
Yeah,
nets were
yeah.
wrapped, right?
Yeah, you're right.
There was one that were chewed up a little, but those could probably be repaired.
Yeah, I'll have mending.
I have
tomorrow,
mending as
so,
well.
like, yeah.
At least I think. Do I have mending?
Garbanzo and I can take care of it.
Oh, I'm a wizard. I can prepare mending. Yeah, tomorrow.
So you can also add confections, which, like, here's a really easy one. Like, for 15 gold, if you put, and you have to have a slightly more prestigious circus, but, like, once you raise the prestige of your circus, for 15 gold at the beginning of a certain performance, you add confections, and the show generates an additional 2d6 excitement before you even start bringing people out, because they're so stoked about the fair food.
Oh, nice.
Just turkey legs and funnel
funnel
cake
cake.
everywhere.
Yeah. Damn right.
Oh, now I'm
Deep
hungry.
fried Snickers.
Oh, yeah.
I want those slushies that have cups that look like our heads.
Ooh.
We can just only do your head, just the lizard head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your head.
I kind of want the Great Garbanzo's turban as the one that you drink out of. I think that's a very good cup head.
Yes, he would make an excellent head cup, that's for sure. He's such a massive joke.
So, you all go out. You have this moment in front of the crowd. It's all going really well. But as the crowd dies down, as people head out with the sun setting, it kind of dawns on all of you that, like, well, that's great. Now you have to address what caused this night to be so strange. And so it's kind of at wherever you're at in this moment in which this is coming to you, right as each of you find yourself sort of not preoccupied with the necessities of running a show, that the professor comes up to you. I don't need to be more of a burden. You've already done so much for us tonight. But I have to ask of you once more, just a bit. I don't think anyone feels too safe tonight to just go back to our wagons and go to bed. It's obvious that what happened to Myron wasn't just an accident. And I don't think we're going to convince anyone as such. Seeing how you handled those toughs out there, I think it would make all of us feel a little better if you could at least take a moment, even if you can't figure out exactly what happened to Myron tonight, to clear the camp and make sure it's safe for us to all go to bed.
The great Garbanzo will ensure that the spirits protect the grounds. And he bows deeply.
He kind of raises an eyebrow a little bit. We really just need you to check the cards yourselves.
Of course. We'll be as thorough as we were successful tonight.
Well, thank you for what you did. And he kind of looks at those of you who performed. You would have made Thunder proud. The show must go on, and he would have wanted this, his last show, to be as triumphant as you helped make it, so thank you. And he sort of explains that he and a couple others worked to put some crates around the body, but Thunder's body is still there if you guys want to check that out, or anything else that you're potentially interested in. You have time to do that now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to look over his body.
Okay. So as you all kind of head over to check out the body, talk to me about kind of like what you're looking for, what you're looking into.
I mean, I guess it's super suspicious that all of a sudden he's dead, so I guess I'm just looking for things that look suspicious. Like, I'm a rogue, so what does it look like somebody did this to him, and how?
Yeah, sure. Drop me a medicine check. You can just do it as an open check. That's fine. Actually, no. Drop it in the dice tower. Let's keep it private. That way, if you fail, you don't know.
Okay, so you grab the little dragon and pull it over there.
Or the dice from medicine, and then drop it over the dice tower.
Oh, there's the dice. Yeah.
So Edom, you start looking over the body, and to you, nothing's standing out. Well, you're not finding exact ones. As you look a little closer, at first, you see that his legs are so swollen, you don't think you can even take his pants off of him. Like if you wanted to check the body in more detail.
Wow.
Something has
Maybe we
caused
should
his
look
leg
for-
to swell.
Maybe we should look for viper bites, since there's vipers all in the circus.
If you want to cut the pant legs open, you totally could do that.
Are we like in a private area, like no one else is walking around, or?
Yeah, the professor has indicated that he is sort of seen to the rest of the group. Everyone's gathered around. There's a sort of central ring of wagons around part of the river and a big campfire they built. And they're all hanging out there together, giving you space to look. You also have the crates that the professor helped move over there to get some privacy.
Once he sees that it's possible, something like that, he kind of steps back and doesn't want to be the one to do all the medicine and the cutting of the pants and all that.
I
Okay.
can take care of it. And
Alright.
I'd say Vivica carefully takes her claws and starts to go at like a seam on the side of the pants and sort of just try to like rip them off.
Okay, so you work your way through. You've got sharp claws. A lizard folk is never unarmed.
Exactly.
And as you start kind of taking those off, you get a better look. And you almost exactly, to Agra's comment, as you take the pants off, you do see just many bite wounds up and down his calves. And this, I went ahead and did a little, I went ahead and set your exploration mode, and I'll say that in looking closer with your medicine check that I just GM rolled back here,
Woohoo.
it was definitely snake venom that caused his death. And specifically, it was in fact viper venom.
And those were the snakes that we fought.
Yeah.
We're charmed.
But don't we also have a
Yes.
snake charmer who has vipers? Or does she have an anaconda?
She has smaller snakes and an anaconda.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been her then, necessarily. Or
You
at
don't
least
know
not
that.
her snakes.
Alright.
Seems to have been snake bites. Professor, do you know what he was doing before the performance? Who he was with? Where he might have been?
He was everywhere. Just as he is before you show. He was checking in everywhere he could. Mostly just back curtain here. However, if I understand what you're trying to talk about, opportunity, I think it means there would have been opportunity for basically anyone to have attacked him. Avinroe, you kind of hearing this talk about like the snakes and the bite wounds, especially as Viveka sort of confirms it. Everything you know about nature would sort of piece together some stuff for you that, let's see, you realize that like for vipers to have attacked like that many bite wounds in that way, that would not have been a natural response. There must have been something either provoking or controlling them to exert aggression in that way. Especially with your experience around like circus animals, which snakes are very common. This is extremely unusual.
Dad, let them know. This does not look natural. Perhaps they were provoked or controlled.
Is there any type of natural enemies that these vipers would have? Perhaps something that maybe his clothes were made out of? He had perhaps a perfume that made them go berserk? Or something more sinister?
I don't believe so, but I am not certain. Can I roll a nature or something like that?
Sure. Well, actually, what I'll say is I had your investigation mode there, and so I'll say your nature in the background, you know that these must have been controlled or forced. Like, this is not a natural. That's kind of what you're at for that.
Okay. Yes, I believe probably more sinister.
Then perhaps we should speak to the obvious.
Is there anyone else in the circus who uses snakes?
Not that you know of. I mean, snakes are often a common sight just because they're certainly a dangerous creature. But outside of Eliza, no, there's not a specific snake charmer in the circus.
Was Eliza part of Celestial Menagerie?
She was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perhaps-
we should talk to her.
A few of us have known her for a while. Have we ever known her to have any issues with her snakes, or perhaps used them to do something sinister?
You know what? Drop it through the dice tower, but drop me a society check, or if you have like a circus lore.
I have lore rope.
Let's do just like a quick society then. And this is to see like
Are you sure lore rope
Oh.
won't help?
a rope is like a snake.
Yes.
So I think that there's nothing comes to mind for you. So you've been with them for the long haul, and you do recall that they were generally friends, and especially as sort of most of you who are the older cadre of people, those who came over from the Celestial Menagerie. There was no difference there. She was a good performer. She didn't have too much of an ego. And her and Thunder, same as any of you who sort of left together, had a lot of shared experience and goodwill.
Is she under some sort of pressure that somebody could coerce her to do something like this with her snake?
You'd have to talk to her.
I think we should talk to her.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should go without any pre-assumed
It's
judgments.
not.
Well, maybe we should also not go as a group.
Yeah.
So we
Yes,
should
that
go
would
alone.
probably scare her off.
We should
Also,
probably leave.
one of
Yeah. Should probably leave the bear too.
Maybe the lizard should.
I mean, Eden, you knew her as well.
I
And
would
Extra.
send Edom over. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Don't
I think we
forget
should
to
go
ask
over.
don't forget to ask about her snake. We know that one of them was sick tonight, and so, start off on the right foot.
Anyone doing any final things here at and around the body?
I did want to check pockets, like
Smart.
search through his clothes, see if he had anything on him that would stick out.
Sure, drop a perception check on the dice tower for me, please. Looking around, no, his pockets have like a notebook that has like mostly torn out pages, which you know to be not like someone took it, but just like when he was done, he would often throw or chuck them into the fire so that he wouldn't accidentally go to the wrong page. Nothing is out of place here.
Okay.
Beans would be kind of sneaking around the the circus grounds, looking for anything suspicious, particularly snakes.
So what I'll say is, if you want to go into the, would you mean like the circus tent right now?
No,
Or,
like the
out where
grounds,
everyone's
like
camping?
like out where everyone's camping.
We can get to that in a second. That is
Okay.
a giant area. I have
Oh,
an actual
okay.
map for that for some context. If
Oh,
you want to
shit,
start sneaking
okay.
around on your own, though, you're totally welcome to.
Then yes, I'll do that. While who is it? Edom is going to who's the snake lady
Yeah.
again? What's her name?
Eliza.
Eliza. So while Edom's going,
Eliza.
so while Edom is going to seat Eliza, Garbanzo's going to be sneaking around, looking for suspicious things here in the tent grounds. Then is that?
Well, no, because if you guys are going to talk to other people, what do you? So go ahead and drop me a. If you're checking the tent first, Eli,
Mhm.
then drop me a perception in the dice tower, please.
Perception,
While
huh?
you're doing that, I have a strange question.
Yeah.
Does his
Oops, that was
face
not the
look
right-
like
that
he
was not
in
the right
pain
thing.
When he died?
Yes.
Or like it was quick and sudden.
Excruciating pain.
Okay.
All right.
Ignore the
So-
first one. That was a performance.
Okay.
Avenro and Ursa are kind of checking out where the Vipers were too.
Okay.
Like when we lured them away.
They were up on the north.
Drop a survival check in the dice tower for me, please, Jared.
Sorry, one sec.
Did we hear any screaming or ruckus while everyone was getting set up? Because it seems like someone who died from multiple snake bites would be making noise
screaming.
or indicating that they're in horrible pain.
In the hubbub of everything getting ready, there are things in retrospect may have been his screams. It was quick, but it was painful.
Oh.
Yeesh.
There was not like this happened. And, if only you'd been more aware, you could have stopped it. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
Period.
Hmm.
All right.
Vivica's really haunted by the thought that she could have heard screams and sort of zoned out because she was trying to get ready for a performance.
Yeah. I think I have to imagine you're probably not the only one who maybe thought that or wondered.
Right.
Was like I'm prepping the next map for
Sure.
no reason at all.
Yeah.
Just like just map stuff.
Yeah, no, of course.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you're making it this. So
No
weird.
idea.
Alright.
Did Avenro recognize the Vipers? Like, I think we knew that those Vipers weren't native.
They were native. They weren't part of the show, nor was
Okay.
their presence there normal.
Okay.
Because they should have been scared away by all the noise and hubbub.
They would not have wanted to move there where they were.
Yeah.
Just say
Right.
that.
So it's
I wonder if we
out of place that they were there.
Avenro can go catch one, and then we can take a look at it.
That
So here
is
we go.
smart.
Here's our circus field.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go. Sweet. Wow, that looks awesome.
Yeah, so you're like, I'll go check out the circus. I was like,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Yeah. Never mind. I see what you're saying now.
And what I am going to say is that as the sun's kind of setting, we're getting into, the moon is out, so it's basically dim light. So if you have low light vision, you're set. If you have normal vision, you've got a 25% miss chance and everything, unless you've got a torch or a fire going or something. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So You guys kind of wrap up in there. Edom, you pull the same blanket the professor had there, sort of set up for privacy, back over Myron's body. Avonrose, you're checking out the bleachers and stands. You don't find anything new. You kind of found where you let the snakes out, and they seem to have just gone on and about their way. You do remember in interacting with them that like they were not. It was weird that they were there. The way they were behaving didn't lead you to believe that at that time they were being possessed or controlled. You were sort of pieced together as that if they were earlier, they weren't when you interacted with them.
Gotcha.
So, what's the size on light?
One sec. 20-foot radius.
Awesome.
And dim light for the next 20 feet.
And you're back. All right, I'm gonna drop you a 20-foot radius then.
Huzzah!
Left hand or right hand?
Oh my god.
It doesn't matter.
Vivica is right-handed, so left hand. So
All right,
in
there
case
you
she
go.
needs to slash.
Yee.
I mean, I guess you can slash with a glowing hand.
I can, but I feel like if I was holding, like if my hand was lit up, I would kind of like forget that you can use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you'd think you're holding something, and you're like, oh, I can't do anything with this hand. I'm holding a thing. And then you're like, never mind.
So there's
And
your
light
dim.
up this inside.
There's your bright and dim light. Although I guess dim light doesn't matter because I said everything's under dim light right now.
Yeah.
I'll take that one off.
Okay.
But there's your bright light radius on you. I'll keep that moving. Don't worry about you placing that at all.
Okay, cool.
So you guys are all out there now. Sounds like you got a couple of things you want to do. Which do we as players want to handle first? Sounds like Edom and Edgar, we're going to go chat with Eliza potentially.
I believe that was the plan, yes.
So as you can kind of see from where your pawns are at, you should be able to just barely move in there. To the south of you, there's sort of a circle of the wagons and a bonfire, and that's where most of basically all the performers and circus folk are right now. So they're huddled around the campfire. And people are it's sort of a mixed state, and that they all feel glad that they were able to have a good show. This is the first show of the Circus of Wayward Wonders, and it was a success. And so everyone's really excited about that. They also know that their leader who helped make this possible is dead, and not as an accident. So it's an odd combination of moods as you kind of approach. To the east of where you are, about 30 feet, 25 feet, is a little footbridge that the group made sure to throw up over the river, so it's really easy to cross there. There's also some stepping stones farther to the west. But as you all work your way, and you can move yourself on the map now with your arrow keys if you so desire. But as you kind of head down to the campfire, that's where you're going to find Eliza.
Oh, it moves the viewpoint. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah, I
the
love
fog of war or whatever?
Yeah.
So this way you can always know, like, hey, what's my character able to see? If it's on the map,
Yeah.
you can see it, which I adore.
It's very
Pretty
helpful.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, where is the snake lady?
She's down around the campfire.
Okay.
For the sake of simplicity, I can bring everyone over there really quickly.
Oh no, you showed me how to do this.
I like moving. I
I'm
think
gonna- I have to move.
Gotta go around.
I have to move Ursa, and I'll keep Egra with the group.
I think, like we discussed, I don't want to, like, overwhelm Eliza, so I think I'm gonna go talk to the Kambali family. Because I'd asked them to scout, and so I'm curious if they've seen anything else, or, just talk to them, get some more information, different perspectives, that sort of thing.
Alright, we'll come back to that. So, Edom, you kind of walk up, and Eliza's sitting there. She's still in her performance outfit, and she's got her hat, though, in her hand sitting on top of her lap. Oh, hi. Hi, Edom. Egra. good show tonight. Your performance was really strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I sit down next to her and I'm just like, I like pat her on the back a little bit and I'm like, hey, thanks, and ask her how's your snake going? I heard it was sick.
Yeah, Avenro helped. Said it was goblin pox, which is weird. Haven't had any of the rat dogs around here that usually carry that, but Avenro said it should be fine with a couple days rest and some food and water, so Mr. Tickles will be doing good, I'm sure, before we know it.
Tickles. You can tell that he's like a little uncomfortable when you say his name is Mr. Tickles.
Yeah. But
yeah,
team is better. All the other snakes are doing fine though. It was just Mr. Tickles, but he's the showstopper for me.
Trying to figure out how to approach this in some kind of like calm way. I thank her for, thanks for the compliment. Like it went off pretty well considering, somebody died.
Yeah, and I think at this point you gotta see, like, she had a little bit of that weight, but like you can see the creases around her eyes become a little more dramatic, and her brow furrows some, and the body language just changes. It becomes a little self-soothing. You can see kind of how like her hands move over her arms. She can kind of feel her own skin a little bit, and her shoulders curl down and around her some. And so this is actually where I want to take a quick second to talk about a game mechanic. One of the things I really like, we've talked a lot about exploration modes in dungeons. However, exploration modes are also just as relevant in social situations. So in this case, Jason, as we're playing, kind of give me an idea of what Edam's looking out for and what Egra are looking out for. Because if one of you is trying to focus on like a diplomacy check to get her to talk, that means you're also not paying as much attention to look for lying. And that's why often having a couple of people in these social encounters is so helpful, because one can be making the background rolls for looking for light, for sense of motive, while the other one can be making intimidate or persuasion rolls. Which isn't to say that, like, if someone's a really obvious liar, because you're focusing on talking to someone, you wouldn't have the chance to see that. It's just that it's against your perception DC versus a perception check if you're actively looking for it.
What is Egra? Because I think Matt got booted. What's Egra's like diplomacy and all that?
So Egra's got a +6 in perception, and that's going to be Egra's real strong one. No bonus
in diplomacy and deception. So I'm going to be my goal is to kind of like talk to her, get her to be calm, almost like the cop that sits at the front at the desk, whereas Egra is in the back, like trying to tell if she's being withholding or not.
Alright, like hawk-eyed sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll roll that, and go ahead and roll a diplomacy for me as you're kind of talking with her. I'm kind of getting a feel for how your body language, how you two are doing with communicating with each other.
Open or in the dice tower?
Go ahead and open. You know how well you are doing at talking to someone. The perception will be sort of a hidden one, but you generally, like, you're stepping into this. Like, you're good with people. And she's kind of opening up with you and talking with you. And as the conversation goes on, talking about, she just starts to share some of her sadness about Myron and his death. And until you ask anything about her snakes otherwise, she's just mostly going to share with you sort of how sad it is to see like one of her longest friends, like someone who helped be part of her support system when she wanted to do something as scary as he also did in leaving the old circus.
Alright, so...
So, at this point, since he's snuck all the way around, how bad was my sneak there, that one I rolled earlier, James? Garbanzos?
You don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Fair. But he's been trying to sneak around this whole time, back to the little wagon right where you guys are, Egra.
Yeah.
And so at this point, am I close enough to hear the conversation they're having?
Sure.
Okay, so he's going to cast a subtle message to, what is your character's name, Jay? Are you Egra or are you the other one?
Edam.
Edam? You're Edam? Okay, so he's going to subtly message to Edam and say, "You should tell her, if she wants to honor the memory of her friend, she would help in the investigation. Her expertise on reptiles could be invaluable.
Can you imagine just trying to have a really nice conversation with someone? Just, holy shit, where did that come from?
Just in your head, you hear that.
I love the thought of message. It's fucking hilarious.
It's disruptive.
He looks over at Egra when that happens, and just like, what the fuck?
And what I'll say is, like, because you're not focusing on perception, you do not see where this came from. You clearly recognize the voice, but no one else seems to have heard it.
Nice. Yeah, definitely no one else heard it, but it's possible other people saw me. I am not invisible.
Once he does that, Eden pulls out like another one of those pre-rolled cigarettes and offers her one and says like, you know, maybe we should try to figure out what we could do to help. You know, try to figure out what happened.
I suppose someone should go look at the body, but I don't know. The quick glance that I saw earlier, he looked in pain, and I don't really want to remember him that way. But if you need me to go look at the body, I'm sure there's several of us who would do that.
As you say that, both of your cigarettes light. Again, it's a subtle cast from where I'm at.
She sort of starts. Is there someone else here? Given everything that's gone on, I definitely feel a little uncomfortable with it. But anyway, what can I do to help, Eden?
You're an intelligent woman. Maybe you can just lend your knowledge.
Most of it is about snakes. Do you think it had something to do with that?
There were some weird snakes out earlier, maybe. Not your snakes. They weren't part of the show, but we shoot them off. Abigail was a big help.
That is interesting. No, I'll definitely say, without me performing tonight, especially with Mr. Tickles feeling so ill, I took a thorough inventory. All of my snakes have been accounted for, and their cages are all intact. Well, I can't say
something to like try to urge her to come with me.
She's already there. She said she's
willing to
go
there.
with
Okay.
you.
Oh, she's one. I missed that part. Okay. Yeah. So I guess what I want to do is we kind of, and that's what, if you haven't figured it out, Eden does not like snakes like at all, and that's what freaks him out about him dying is we think that it's a snake bite.
Yeah.
He kind of wants to bring her along to see how she reacts.
Okay. So you and Agra and her. Oh, I can just tell you because I know the people who are actively perceiving. No one saw Beans at all. Yeah, because I can compare Beans to everyone's perception DC.
That's also kind of
awesome. The
awesome.
person who was rolling perception was Agra, and Agra did not see it. So no one saw Beans at all.
You know, I'm glad it was one or the other. I'm glad it was either no one saw him or everybody saw him.
Yeah, actually, behind the curtain, dude, your stealth was a unnatural 20.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so Edom, Agra, we'll keep your pawns where they are on the map just for simplicity. You two head up there. Beans, do you follow at a distance?
Almost definitely. He's gonna spoiler. He's gonna pop out at some point and just be saying something like
give me another
Batman.
stealth check.
You got it. Another hidden one, I assume.
Yes, please.
Okay.
So as you gotta get there and get her closer. So now, because you've already convinced her, if you want to, this is where Edom, you could kind of change your exploration mode to perception and sort of, because you said that like you're watching for her reaction to seeing. So go ahead and drop a perception roll in the dice tower, because now you're focusing less on convincing her. You've done that. You're just really analyzing, looking for anything she might do or say that would sort of give you some indication. So you and Egra are both watching her really closely as you bring her to the body, move the blanket back, and her face just like a little white. Oh God. oh, why'd you got his pants on? And she looks like, holy shit. And there's a part of her where you can see that there's some of a professionalism in what she sees in this. That's extremely abnormal. And you're not picking up on any vibes from her that seem weird. And Egra seems to have a little bit of a better clue in, but even what Egra's picking up isn't anything off. Just he's able to really sort of pick apart the sadness for her friend, the disgust at having to see his body like this, but also the fascination and the snake bites that would be so uncharacteristic for it. And so Egra's picking up those three things very clearly and defined, whereas Edom is just more getting sort of the vibe of like, all right, she's mostly on the up and up. Egra's really starting to pick apart those pieces as well.
Yeah, nothing that's like that casts the idea that, oh, I was expecting this.
You don't see her trying to feign any of the expression or emotions that she is displaying. They seem very genuine.
He covers her back up and he's just like, goes back for that cigarette and he's like, yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
You think these snakes that Avenro dealt with may have been the ones?
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, he looks at him and he's like, they couldn't have been your snakes, right?
Not unless they found a way to get out of the cages and close them again without me knowing, which, as happy as it be, would be as sad as that would be, it would be a whole new trick for us to look into. So.
Then from immediately behind you, you hear, "So, you do not keep any types of vipers of this type?"
Holy shit! She jumps. Oh god! Beans, not tonight. Tonight is not the night. Oh.
Apologies.
Oh,
You know, I walk lightly. I am very small. I do not come up to the height of your eyes.
and I like to imagine, like, somehow when you're stealthing, it isn't a factor, but as soon as you're not, there's, like, jangly bracelets on you that make active sounds.
Yes, that's canon now. The second you notice him, he's extremely noticeable.
It's just like when he's hiding, he's, like, holding them down.
Like the Ninja Turtles 2, where they have the Foot Clan mannequin that has all the bells on it. They give him like 30 seconds to swipe all the bells up. Yeah, anyway.
So, I keep some vipers. They're great for the show. But no, all of mine are accounted for. And God, I'd feel horrible if I had anything to do with hurting this man. Look,
We should check it out, right? We should make sure. And we all know you didn't do it. This was a friend.
but don't leave town.
Yeah.
Don't leave
Don't
town.
leave town.
I got have any of you? I know we were talking about it. Have any of you made it like very far into the current Delta Green episodes through GCP?
No.
Oh god! At some point, I won't ruin anything. Then they just have a whole bit about sleepy cop, tired cop instead of good cop, bad cop, and how, and I quote, "Everyone's wife's going to Guantanamo." All right. So, she's kind of there. Is there anything else I can help with, Eden, Agra?
So what you're gonna do is to make sure that all of her snakes are still there and nothing looks like it was messed with.
Sure. And like her snakes are still like in this back area. They're actually not super far away. She had the cages moved into this area. So go ahead and give me let's do some perception checks. Dice Tower ones. I'll roll one for Egra as well.
Everybody?
As you're kind of checking her. 3 of you who are in there checking out the
Okay.
cages, just sort of double checking. Holy crap! Gold pieces? You're gonna be raking that in.
I mean, we could legit probably start doing bear rides in the circus.
It's exotic, man.
Yeah.
Did you mean to roll performance again, Elon?
Damn it, no, I did not. Sorry, God. Perception. That one.
So
There
the
we
three of
go.
you look, and all the cages seem to be intact. The snakes are there, and these do look different. Like, there are vipers. You can see like the head shape. They're a kind of viper, but they do look different from the vipers you remember seeing with Avenro earlier. But all of the cages are intact, and you can see that the cages are maintenance well. It's not like they're old but still intact. They are intact and well cared for.
Garbanzo's going to, like, consciously look at their heads to like estimate the distance between their fangs, and then try to remember how far apart the bite marks were on the body?
I'm sorry, I just saw the headcanon photo for Ursa.
I love it.
So yeah, you kind of look. There's snakes. They're vipers.
Okay. I was just seeing if, like, maybe if the bite marks on Thunder's legs were, like 4 inches apart, but the heads of these snakes was an inch wide.
No, it's so
So swollen and
if they're close
stuff.
enough, it could be.
Mhm.
They're
Okay.
medium-sized. Like, they are not Pathfinder medium. They are Viper
Got
medium.
it. So, like, just
So they could
Unclear.
be the right kind of thing, but
unclear. Got it.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. Totally
They're
unclear.
not ruled them in or out.
Right.
Other than they are in these cages.
Hmm.
And yeah, so 3 of you kind of finish looking it over. Eliza, yeah, this all still looks right. Mr. Tickles still seems lethargic,
Holding the lid.
but doing okay. What next? Actually, let's cut back now. Let's hop over to the Featherfall 5, if you will. So we're over there with Vivica and Avenro. Are you kind of in that same area-ish too, or are you sort of moving around?
I think Alvin Rowe's instinct is to check on the animals because he's the animal. So he's over by, I assume, these pins over there for him.
There's some animals. There's one other animal you would know of. The one in particular you haven't seen yet is Bardolph.
Okay.
Bardolph is sort of one of the. He is actually a circus bear and has become something of a bit of a mascot. His previous owner and caretaker, the Great Fortuno, was actually robbed and killed in an alleyway in Escadar. However, Myron couldn't stand to leave Bardolph behind, so they actually refitted all of Fortuno's wagon to sort of be Bardolph's home. And whenever they set up, the wagon is the wagon, and one of the nearby pens is Bardolph's home.
That's what I'm doing then.
However, Bard, you do know that there is they do also have a trained wolf.
Okay.
And that wolf also stays over there with Bardolph. But you haven't talked to either of them yet.
Am I in that area on the map, or?
No, that's to the west. I'll let you know that where you're at. Like, it's let me see if I can manipulate it a little bit. I'm going to move you up here so you can see it. You see that green wagon to the west-southwest of you?
Yes.
That is Bardolph's wagon.
Got it. So that'd be heading that direction then.
Okay, so we'll cut back to you in a second then.
Sure.
So while you're doing that, let's cut back over to Vivica. Vivica, you're talking with the Kimbalis, and you know them pretty well, so it's a pretty comfortable conversation to settle into. They're kind of sharing with you that during the show, they're still a little on edge about the rats that seem to have eaten away at their nets. They said, and they're not like shocked, but they're definitely still a little bummed at the fight that broke out. Not bummed at how you handled it, but bummed that those 3 toughs got so violent as to require that action. In their mind, they felt like you handled it very well, and that the group did the right things and making sure to shut that down so that no one else got hurt. But it's just a lot of violence in one night.
I think I would be pretty, like, knowing these people basically my whole life, I'd be pretty open and honest with them and be like, a lot of things seem to have gone wrong tonight. It almost feels like someone was purposefully trying to sabotage us. And we don't really know who might have done it yet, but we're kind of looking around. While you were scouting, did you see anything else out of place?
As they share, not
Am I
much.
nearby when she said that? When she said that?
What's that?
Am I nearby her at all when she said that?
No, you're heading up. You're dealing with Eliza around that. So what I will say though is that they're kind of sitting there and they kind of like check in. The parents, are you sure? It's okay. Even if you're not sure, you can definitely tell us. And we're not sure. No, I didn't see anything. No, nothing. And then, like, the youngest one sort of, do you think it was Mistress Dusklight who did this? Kind of looks up to you, Vivica, sort of recognizing you.
I think Vivica gets a really, like, hardened look on her face. And says, we really don't know right now. But if it is, we'll stop her. We got away once. We're never gonna have to deal with her again. I promise.
You see her kind of stick her chin out. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Vivica like squats down and gives her a little like high five.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you up there performing again. I'm gonna mend those nets tomorrow.
Thanks.
Where is it that you keep the nets?
Usually when we travel, of course, they're put inside of, our bags and our crates and our trunks and around the wagon. But here we keep them under the big top because it's just the best place to keep them out of the weather.
When's the last time you checked on the nets?
Yesterday. You know how it was. Thunder still hadn't set the lineup. We were sure we thought we'd have to be ready to go up if he chose us and picked us. And as of yesterday, they were all fine.
I definitely want to go investigate wherever the nets would have been sitting.
Sure.
To see if I find anything weird.
And so, I think as you're kind of heading back up to the tent, that's when Edom and Beans and Egra are kind of finishing up there with Eliza, and that's also at the same time that we've got Avenroe kind of tacking westward towards Bardolph. So, as you're kind of heading up there, go ahead and give me... What are you looking for as you're kind of looking up and around that, around the nets?
What do I know about rats? So rats need somewhere to hide. They don't usually like the light. I'd be sort of looking in dark corners, looking for rat droppings, like poop. Like, have they been there a long time?
Sure.
Or, like, were the rats, like, did someone just drop a bag of rats on top of this rope, somehow make them eat the rope, and then they all dispersed immediately?
Do me a favor. Drop a survival in the dice tower for me, please.
The bag of rats sounds terrible.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm getting some 1984 moments.
I didn't mean that roll. There it is. I couldn't see the dice tower. Alright, 5. That.
So as you look around, what you do notice is that you find some rat tracks. And as you're following them, it's hard for you to understand what it is at first you see, but you sort of see these rat tracks that, yes, sure enough, were over and around the nets, but you see a lot of them kind of heading from different areas, all converging together. As you follow these, you start to see this just number of tracks of rats that, like, as you look, like what before you think may have been, you sort of just disregarded as the texture of the ground, you're following these tracks closer and closer to Myron's body. As you get there, you can see the disturbance of the footprints your group and the professor left, sort of on top of this obfuscation. But around the footprints you left more recently are so many, countless number of pinches in the sand from these rats that you can't tell or find any other footprints. You can't even, you realize now, you can't even see Myron's footprints. Something happened to bring so many of these rats to one spot that they completely cleared the trace of any walking or presence there before and up to Myron's death.
So, a bunch of rats, like, it seems like they came from random places and converged
Yes.
on the nets, and then, like, all dispersed.
Well, you found them by the nets. It's in tracing them from the nets that you found that the rats who were at the nets and elsewhere converged onto and around where Myron was.
Oh, God, that's
And
so
it seems-
weird.
It is, and everything you know, like, this is abnormal behavior.
The rats could have attracted the snakes.
Beans popping out of nowhere next to you.
God.
How
Jesus, Beans.
Tail.
did she see me?
If you talked, then yes.
Yes. Well, I meant before. Like, did he just appear, or did she see him
Oh,
coming?
no, very, very obviously Beans
Very.
sneaking up.
Yes. So you very much see him sneaking up this time, and that's what he says to you.
She pretends to be surprised, so she has an excuse to slap you in the face with her tail.
He accepts it graciously.
Oh no! Whoops! I was so shocked.
Oh, apologies. But perhaps this congregation of rats is what attracted the snakes to Thunder in the first place.
Maybe. Can I look at the body again and see, are there any rat bites?
Sure. I'm gonna kind of roll over your medicine check earlier. There aren't any.
Okay.
It is just snake bites, but numerous
Yeah.
amounts, and from a height that they would have had to have been around the rats.
Maybe that kind of makes sense, I guess. I would need to talk to Avenro. This is weird.
And so I think it's right as you say that I want the camera to cut over to Avenro.
Mm.
And Avenro's walking his happy self down over to Bardolph's wagon. And so as you get there, so Avenro, you're getting closer, and kind of talk to me about it. You said you're kind of going to check out the wildlife, make sure everything's okay, right?
Yeah, and make sure none of them have been affected by anything, and just kind of catch like their demeanor, if they seem on edge, if they've been tampered with or anything like that.
All right, drop me a nature check in the dice tower, please.
Alright.
So as you're getting closer, this is for everyone else, kind of imagine this in the camera. You can kind of see this wagon. It's a bit of an older wagon. It's very large. It's decorated with fading paintings that all depict Bardolph dancing and playing on a ball, menacing the great Fortuno, who's armed with a whip. There's a large side door at the rear. It has no lock, and on either side of it, there's a thick and well-chewed length of rope that Avenro, Bardolph uses to close the wagon for himself. There's also, you also see, kind of painted on there a couple times, a depiction of, there's Bardolph and Wolfdolph. He was very cleverly named, but the large wolf that was also trained. Less beloved than Bardolph, but still, part of the circus. And there's a couple of him balancing a ball on his nose, or jumping through flaming hoops as well. You can kind of see the telltale signs of even there. As you get closer, you don't see either of them, which makes you think, all right, they're probably in the wagon. And you do remember that the other week, Bardolph had a foot injury in another town. Like, nothing huge, but enough where he's definitely been kind of resting it off. And you know that if Bardolph is sleeping, usually Wolfdolph is sort of hanging out. The two are very close. As you get closer, though, you're not hearing anything.
Okay. I'll go around the front and peek in. Try and be quiet in case he's sleeping.
So, drop a stealth check for me, please, if you will, in the dice tower. And so you kind of work your way up as quietly as you can. You get there, and you start to slide the door open. Second. And And as soon as you slide the door open, you hear this deep and you recognize it as a very aggressive sound. And you know that the bear feels threatened, and as soon as that door starts to open, you hear the movement of Bardolph moving to attack.
Oh shit.
Right.
Just trying to find some good...
Oh shit.
Some good bear mauling music.
Yeah, I feel like that's important.
The Revenant.
Yeah. You know what? You're not helping me out here, Sirenscape. Classic adventure. Alright, here we go. Classic adventure is going to have something appropriate. And you see kind of where you're opening it. And also, like, other people hear the roar of this bear, too, where all of you are on the map. So, go ahead and roll stealth for initiative for me, Avenro. And everyone else roll initiative for me, whether or not you're there.
Perfect.
And I will go ahead and move Ursa down to where you're at for initiative.
Okay.
Oh, right there with you already. Oh no, right there. Alright. Great. So, it will be... Oh, I'll roll for Agra. Alright, so Vivica, you're... Did someone hear a bear roar? You get to act first.
Amazing.
I love that.
Well, I turned, and I can't really see anything. Because, I only have my light in my hand, and then it's dim light, and as far as I know, lizard folk don't have, dim light vision. Low light vision, that's the word.
They made vision a little more narrative. They made the vision make more narrative sense in second edition. So in low light, you reasonably can make out like shapes and distances, like it's moonlight. It's just that you have a penalty to hit things with fine vision. So you can generally see that like Ursa's not being like visually not hiding. So you can be like, oh, Avenro went that way. It came that way.
Okay, so I'm going to go start walking that way and just see what I can see. Because you also, like, the bear's in a tent, so it's, like, really weird. So, did that move? Oh, nope, I don't have everything selected. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
So, like, yeah, you don't have detailed view because of lights and everything. You can definitely see that the doors are open and Bardolph is at Avenro.
Well, that's weird. I'm just gonna keep moving 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm just gonna keep moving closer. That's all 3 actions.
Right. Well, it's now Bardolph's turn. Bardolph, Avenro, you go to the Baldar. I'll say, like, in the quick second you have, Bardolph looks terrified. In the amount of time that you've worked, I'm gonna go with him. And so, kind of seeing you there is going to... Oh, wow. Some cool abilities here.
Oh no.
Alright. It is going to reach out with you and to just claw out at you in a bit of a panic. And misses.
Whew.
There sounds. As the claw, like, just lashes out with the other claw. Yeah, so that's a bear sound there. Also misses. And one final swipe. It's just, he's just, you've never seen Bardolph like this. Well, a little bit. You've been with the company for a while, right? So, this was before you time, but the only thing that come to mind is like, this is, yeah, you would not have seen Bardolph like this before, ever.
Okay.
Claws just jumping out. Miss. Just with someone's, this panicked fury. Now the wolf, Wolfdolf. Wolfdolf is going to move and come out. Let's see. So Wolfdolf's gonna go 5, 10, 15. Just coming out, foaming at the mouth, not literally foaming at the mouth, but just very aggressively, and going to bite out at you with its jaws. That'll be a hit for 6 points of damage, and then it'll use its final action. I really like this. This is how knockdown works now. It has knockdown as an part of the effect of the damage, and what that means is I can now choose to spend an action to, with no check, knock you prone, but it still takes an action.
Okay.
So the wolf will run out, bite at you with its third action, knock you prone. So I do have a throw prone on you as a reminder for myself.
Got it.
So boom, drops you down. Oh, I guess I do have to do it that way. Boo, I wasn't paying attention. Boom, knocks you prone. Now it is Egra's turn. So, Jason, what should Egra do?
Also, you're muted, Jay.
Thanks, man. I was just talking. So Egra is going to go into the fight after everybody else, and what's his movement?
25, so, yeah.
Am I also gonna move him?
No.
Okay, yeah, so just straight up, full, or like 25 feet.
So 2 movements gets him there, he has 1 action left.
Draw his sword.
Alright, runs up, draws a long sword, that's his turn. Edom, your turn.
Alright. Let's see. One second, I'm looking at us. Okay. So. Let's see what I can see. Range 30 feet. 5, 10. And then, how do you do the 30-foot range thing again?
For what?
I just want to be within 30 feet for my next, like, action. How's that the...
You're at 30 feet.
Okay.
This map's a little weird because they changed the scale on it, so it counts each space as 10 feet instead of 5 feet, but it is 5 feet. So usually I say use a measuring tool, but this specific map is wonky.
Okay. I'm gonna stop there and gonna pull off my short sword. So basically the same thing I ever did.
Okay. Garbanzo.
All right. He's going to be sneaking. So
This time.
what's that? Oh,
Eli.
sorry. Yep. Sorry. There. My computer was
Okay.
not letting me click. Okay. So I'm stealthing. So am I still stealthed, or do you need a new one?
You have to roll a stealth each time you move.
Okay.
You move half speed.
Oh, half speed. Okay. So then, yeah.
There's a skill speed that lets you move full speed.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So he's going to sneak up, as quickly as he can. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
And go ahead and roll that in the dice tower for me.
Okay, so stealth.
Not performance?
Not performance, hopefully.
Alright, you keep sneaking down.
Okay. And what is the range here? Of this... Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not close enough to that. So I'll sneak in again. 5, 10, 15, 25. To here.
And go roll another stealth check for me.
Oh,
Each
yeah.
time you sneak.
Oh,
you
each
drop one
time.
dice down.
Okay.
Yeah, each action is a check. Alright, you're sneaking down, you're sneaking.
Okay.
You're sneaking, you're snacking.
And basically I'm trying to hide, like, sort of behindish under the wheel of this wagon.
Uh-huh.
Like behind the wheel, kind of. So, like, right there-ish. And that'll be my whole
Alright.
turn. All 3 actions.
Alright. So then if you...
Oh, yeah,
that's
the
one
third-
more stealth
third
check
stealth,
for the
yep.
third time.
There you go.
Alright. Avenro, you are prone. This bear is in front of you.
Alright. Man. So many options. Alright, I'll command Ursa to we're gonna do grapple again with the wolf.
Alright.
So move and grapple, I guess, are the 2 commands.
Okay. So Ursa's gonna run up, and then go ahead and roll me for Ursa a athletics check, which I think for Ursa is a +6. You should be able to grab that from Ursa's sheet, I think, since I made Ursa friendly.
Oh yeah, that is.
Alright, so 14. Just a miss. Goes in, because you got to grapple. Wolf dog dodges around, misses. Alright, you've got 2 actions left for Avenro.
I'm going to. Can I command multiple times around?
No, if they have the minion trait, you can only command that minion once per turn.
Okay. So then I will stand up and I will. Is there an equivalent of like defensive fighting in this?
That's a really good question. I know you can take cover if you have it.
Probably don't from where I'm at.
You mean you can raise a shield? You're a dwarf, right?
Yeah,
Do you have a you have a clan dagger?
good deal.
So you actually, because you have, if you draw the clan dagger, it takes an additional action, so you probably need to do it this turn. But clan daggers have the parry trait, which says that you can raise a clan dagger like you do a shield.
That's awesome.
+1 to your AC.
Okay.
And so let me double check.
Works, yeah.
So if you have a shield, you can always do that. But that's actually one of the things I really, really like about clan daggers is you can use them defensively.
Well, I am just gonna punch the bear.
Hey, stop it!
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just use the clan dagger stat.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do some things.
If you find yourself using fists a lot, you also can program in a fist entry.
I wasn't planning on it, but try not to kill.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't. If it's a character, like some characters I know use it all the time. Eli and I have a rogue in one of our games who just at the drop of a hat punches enemies because it's only a minus. You know, it's an agile weapon. So you kind of slug out. It just hits the bear. Like, you know, as you're standing up, you just couldn't get your footing right for the shot.
Okay. That's
Alright.
it.
That's you. Ursa's taken their turn. Full turn stop. Vivica, you again. You're seeing this happen.
Vivica is really concerned because, you know, she doesn't want to hurt these animals. She's known them for a while. This is really odd. She likes animals, but, you know, she's not skilled at handling them in any sort of way.
Sure.
So, she's not really sure how to help. Is there anything I could do to distract them, calm them down?
So if you want
I'm not really
to,
sure what to do.
if you want to, you can spend an action to recall knowledge here. Because I'll say that in addition to this being like gaining information about the creature's stat block, you do have experience with both these creatures. If you want to make a recall knowledge, I'm going to lower the DC a little bit to see if you've ever seen behavior like this or like have any context for how to handle them in this situation.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So it takes a second or two for you to like think, oh crap, like what do I do? So go ahead and drop a nature check in the dice tower for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this pretty easy. So you're not sure what to do, but you do gain some information. So in terms of how do I react, you're not sure, but you do remember seeing Bardolph and Wolfdolph like this. I cannot get over the fact. So I'll just open behind the curtain here. This is one of those encounters I added extra things to make it for more players. And I forgot that I would need a name for the wolf, so I totally just show it. It's like, all right, Bardolph and fuck it, Wolfdolph.
Wolfdolph. I love Wolfdolph.
It's just son of friend.
Oh, my character
got
died?
me. I was
I guess
like,
next
that's
act
weird.
you guys are gonna meet Boromir's brother Faramir.
Yeah. It's Lork the Orc. It's Talk Radio Eagle Crow. And his horse Falcon. So, you remember when the Great Fortuno died, was killed a couple of years ago? This is when you've seen Bardolph act like this. Like you've never seen a reaction of Bardolph and Wolfdolph like this before, except for when like their partner in performance was killed. And in that grief and fear, this is when you've seen them act like that before.
Okay.
And they seem terrified.
Do I remember anything people, like, do I remember what people do to calm them down? Is, like, do we just not attack? Do
I
we
have
just
a
kind of,
thing
like,
that can
stand
help.
there, make ourselves look big, and just be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And so this is where I'll say, like, because of your check, you don't remember what to
Okay.
do. This is not like but you're like, oh, I've seen this before. It was bad. They were just super emotionally upset and grieving that.
Okay.
If you have that context. And here's another thing that I do like about, because now that recall knowledge is a check, there is no penalty to reattempt because it's an action economy question. You want to go again and think like, oh crap, what do I do? Then
Oh.
you can use
Okay.
additional checks on that.
Yeah, let me do that. Why not?
Because it's spending more, it's just like on a test, like you're spending an extra couple seconds like racking your brains, like, okay, your bonus isn't getting any better, but maybe you'll remember something else.
But it's also not
Sure.
getting worse like it would with attacks.
Yeah. So a nature check again?
Yep. Yeah, honestly, I really like some of the quality of life stuff.
It's very
Nothing,
helpful.
Like just, you're trying, but like, you're just, in this moment, whatever it is, there's some sort of barrier that's keeping you, no pun intended, there's some kind of barrier that's keeping you from getting there.
Okay. So she, with her last action, is just going to move a little bit closer to Avenro just to
Bring the light in.
bring the light in. Oops, god damn it. 5, 10, 15, 20. So, like, right here. I don't want to be close enough that they could hit me, but I can maybe give them guidance next turn.
So in that case, I'm going to
Yeah.
say, put yourself there, because the bear is a large creature. So you would know
be
that.
able to touch him.
No, so it's up to you. Now, remember, also, AOs are not an intrinsic thing for casting anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no. Like,
Yeah.
if I want to cast guidance on Avonrow next turn, I have to be right next to him.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna be there and assume that the bear won't try to swipe me.
All right.
You weren't necessarily an immediate
it's
threat.
a risk, but sort of as like I'm not running up. Like I didn't use my full movement. I'm sort of just like fast walking, and I'm like Bardolph, Wolfdolph, it's okay, and I'm just like it's really hard just trying to radiate an aura of calm because I know animals kind of react to that sort of thing. And so I'm just trying to give off sort of like calm vibes. Everything's okay.
And I think you managed to do that really well. And what's noteworthy to you is that despite that, you showing up as just a new person on scene, Bardolph lashes out at you.
Okay.
Like in a panic, just claws out at you, hits.
Ouch.
And so he's going to do damage.
Ow.
And heavy hit.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna, because we always, any of us who listen to GCP give Troy shit about failing to do this. I'm going to really quickly look up how grab works for the monster under the Universal Monster Special rules. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm going to read.
The bear kills me.
No, but you are grabbed at least, so I want to see like if there's an automatic thing or there's a check. Because it's unlike knockdown with the wolf that explains it really clearly. They have not written it out for me so kindly. A, B, C, D.
Gotta sing the alphabet song.
I am a professional writer and I sing the alphabet song.
Sometimes you just can't remember.
Oh, that's super cool. So it works like knockdown. It is an action. The monster's last action was a success with a strike that lists grabbed in its damage entry. Effect, the monster automatically grabs until the end of the monster's next turn.
So it is like the wolf. You just burn an action for it.
Which I think balance-wise, I love.
Yeah, makes
That's
sense.
such a cool thing that it doesn't count as an attack for reducing attack penalties. So it will spend its second action to grab you, Vivica.
Right.
But then its third action is going to be to swing at Avonrow. This is something that either of you would notice a little odd. Is like if the bear was going for like really apex predator kill, it would be claw and then mauling in, like going in with the maw to go in, because it either does bonuses to damage against creatures it's grappling. It's not acting super intelligently. It seems to be panicked. Okay, so this next strike swings out at Avonrow is a hit this time. I'm finally managing to roll some wild stuff. And then, heavy hit to Avonrow, but that's the bear's whole turn. It's now
Bear is scary.
It's now Wolfdolph's turn. Wolfdolph has Ursa coming down, you coming in, starts to freak out. It's going to do a Jaws on Ursa. Got a hit. It's going to do some damage to Ursa. And then going to knock Ursa down. However, for its third action, seeing like the light coming in, imagine this is all happening so quickly. It's as the light kind of comes in, it's as everyone's kind of more visible what's happening. The last action, Wolfdolph just sort of stops and looks and seems to focus on all of you and sort of bark once or twice. And it's as this happens that both that you, Vivica, feel Bardolph's claws come out of you and kind of drop you. And his whole body language changes as he sort of backs up into the wagon. Both of them putting their heads down, dropping their legs in front to sort of show some level of submission, and stopping.
Huh.
And he sort of, and it's kind of in that weird change of attitude there for a second that we're gonna cliffhang to credits on that kind of weird note.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I'm immediately put their swords away when that happens.
All right. Well, let me throw some XP. Let me throw some XP around callously.
Yes, please.
before I
Apply
forget.
liberally. Man,
And,
I was
we'll kind of end on that sort of weird "what's going on" note.
I was about to run right in and color spray the shit out of them. They were in the perfect cone shape. It was gonna be
Oh,
awesome.
I wish I had colors.
It was gonna be so good because I'm sure they have low wisdom.
I was thinking about using Moonbeam, which can dazzle, but it also does fire damage. So I'm like, I don't want to hurt them.
Yeah, I have color spray which does no damage, and I was just about to use it too.
I'll write the recap later because I've got to run now, but I'll write the recap. I'll drop it in here. I'll also drop it in the group chat so that Matt can catch up on the recap.
Sweet.
Cool. Hey, thank you all for playing. I am so enjoying playing this AP with all of you.
This is a good one, yeah.
No, that's good.
I also really appreciate that for all of us who started with a murder investigation, that there's a little bit of that going on here, sort of a fun,
Yeah.
throwback to our Plague Stone. I am in the background starting to prep the Slithering.
Oh,
so
yeah?
once we finish book 1 of this, we'll jump over to the Slithering, play the Slithering, and then jump back to book 2 of this.
That was the original group, right?
Yep.
Sweet. Okay.
Should we have a session one day to set up our old characters in Fantasy Grounds?
Yeah, to make, because aren't we 5th level?
But honestly, because I have them, I can bring them in pretty easily now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, alright.
For those of you that
I'm fine with not doing more.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't have a character, who aren't bringing their exact same character into book 2, the one thing I will ask for the Slithering is the Slithering does have one rule: no human PCs.
Interesting.
I don't think that was a problem.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I think our one remaining human retired.
Yeah, he did.
And now that I'm a lot more comfortable with updating adventures, Jason, if Matt wants to play the Slithering with us, he's more than welcome to.
Okay, yeah, I want to know.
We have good group chemistry. I love keeping groups together. So that's the one thing though for the Slithering is we'll start at I think level 5 and no humans. Yeah, caw. Tango.
Yeah, I have no problem making a not human.
Awesome. And
I might
everything's on
just
the table.
now that like the APG's out and everything, I might just make something different instead of Rhoda. Rhoda was fun, but
maybe Rhoda hangs out and helps protect the town with.
she'd probably go back to her glade. Honestly, now that we defeated the
Yeah.
plague, she'd probably just go back to her forest, try to heal it.
Hell yeah! All right, I gotta head out. Thank you all for a great game today. This was a blast.
Yeah, this was a good one. Thanks,
Yeah,
y'all.
it's great.
I'll talk
Bye.
to you all soon, and let's stay in touch for next session.
For sure.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Have a great Labor Day, everyone.
Y'all too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.